Benjamin Boehm, VP of Commercial Aircraft Programs at Bombardier. Thank you for joining us. Of course, we're only on the first day of the Farnborough Airshow, so it's early days, but what can we expect in terms of orders for Bombardier?
It's always difficult to forecast exactly how many orders we're going to have. You don't necessarily time the orders just around the Airshow, but if you're lucky enough that some of them turn out to happen during this time, it works out great. I think from our perspective, we're hoping that we'll be able to announce some across our entire commercial aircraft platforms, be that the Q, the CRJ, or the C-Series. But at the same time, if they all happen the day after the show, we're not going to complain about that either.
Okay. You predicted in June that your deliveries will fall again this year. How optimistic are you regarding orders and deliveries for the year in full?
I think where we are right now in terms of orders and deliveries of this year is we're going to hit our projections from a standpoint of deliveries. Orders, I think we're still hopeful that slowly but surely the market is starting to see a little bit of an upturn and that the airline industry is growing a little bit, but it could also very well be just another year or two, because really as we've kind of watched the industry grow, it does take a year or two when the rest of the world is coming out of a recession before the airline industry really does its pickup.
Can you tell us a bit more about where you are with the development of the C-Series? I believe you've just completed the load test for the wing.
We've done a lot of testing, and really we've been very focused on technology advancement and technology proving, given that we have an all-composite wing and all-new aluminum lithium fuselage. This month marks the switch over from the joint definition phase into the detailed design phase. So what we've really frozen now is we've frozen the interfaces between all of the suppliers, all of the systems, and all of the structures. We'll now move more into the actual definition of the individual parts and systems and get them ready for production. At the same time, we've been doing quite a bit from a standpoint of technology proving. We have over 60,000 cycles on our aluminum lithium fuselage test barrel. We just completed 150% of loading on the wing specimen that we have. It's a great little video that you can see on YouTube that shows you, just how much wing deflection you can get on this airplane. It is an all-composite wing. Similarly, we've been working very hard for the last couple of years on our fly-by-wire development, all in line with getting a good, smooth entry into service for the C-Series in 2013.
Excellent. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of talk about the possible re-engineering for the A320 as a means to compete against your C-Series aircraft. How have you responded to that? Do you take it as a compliment that aircraft recognises the C-Series capabilities, or do you view it as a threat?
We definitely don't view it as a threat. From a standpoint of re-engineering, there's been very few airplanes historically in the commercial market that ever succeeded a proper re-engineering. Engines are just one part of the efficiency curve. You can't just put a new engine on and expect to get double-digit improvements in the operating cost or fuel burn of an airplane. It's a combination of everything that you see here. So from that standpoint, even if Boeing and Airbus decide to re-engine their airplanes, and remember it has to be the ones that actually compete with the C-Series, their larger ones don't compete with the C-Series, it'll still have, the C-Series will still have double-digit benefits over those, even those re-engined products.
Do you believe orders for the C-Series may slow as customers wait to hear on the re-engineering program?
I wouldn't blame an airline for at least wanting to wait, but at the same time, both Boeing and Airbus have been talking about this for quite a long time, and nothing has really come out of it. The airlines are seeing this recovery happening as well. The airlines are starting to watch their own competitors, other airlines, and they realize that the first orders into a product like the C-Series gets the most advantageous skyline positions, delivery positions starting in 2013, 2014. So actually what we're seeing a lot of airlines is getting impatient with Boeing and Airbus and coming to us and saying, we realize you've got the right product, so let's start talking in depth.
Is there any possibility that we'll see a larger version of the C-Series somewhere down the line?
Right now, we are focused on making an optimized family below 149 seats. It takes a lot of work just to get an optimization in this segment alone. No one else has done it before in the past. So for us, that's our focus. That's what allows us to get the double-digit savings in terms of operating cost. It's what helps us beat by 20+% fuel burn any of our competitors, be that Embraer, be that Airbus, be that Boeing. So it would actually be counterproductive for us to be looking at something bigger right now.
What about a larger version of the Q400?
The Q400, we are studying a stretch of the airplane. I think a lot of people have heard us talk before about the Q400X. We haven't made any decisions yet in terms of when we'll launch it, when it will enter into service, but we definitely have been talking to the market. We've been talking a little bit about the technologies we'd like to put on it. So we definitely see it in our books, but probably not in the short term.
Re-engineering of Embraer's E195 would firm its hold on the 70 to 120 seat market, something Embraer is very optimistic about. Can you see this happening, and is it something that raises concern?
It doesn't raise concern from my standpoint. It's hard for me to really speculate on what Embraer would do, but I can definitely see that they're feeling the squeeze from our regional jet products. Our CRJ products beat them hands down in terms of economics. From the top end, eventually they're going to get squeezed by the C-Series at the 100-seat plus side. It's one of the mistakes they made by putting a plane between the regional and the mainline markets. So where they go is anybody's guess, but from our perspective, it's probably us that's causing it because our products are so competitive.
Benjamin, thanks very much.
You're welcome.